the love. Doing it for the love, so now I'm doing what I want.
What's up, everybody? Tony Cutillo here. DFS Blend Daily Watch and Locks. 3 play of the day. Welcome in that. And again, a lot of good games tonight. We're going to make this quick because last night we ran out of time. We were having such a good time on this. We ran out of time. Listen, how did Shake do for you? Michael Joe checking in. He did fantastic for me. For just to understand where I look at this logic is if I pick a guy between 3 and 4,000, I'm looking at him to give me 15 to 20 points. I think that's a bargain. Shake Milton last night, 18.75. Okay, so you'd be surprised. You look at DraftKings points. A guy might only score 3 points, but he's a stat stuffer. Gets a 3-point shot, gets a couple steals, a block, a few rebounds before you know it. He's up to 15 or 20. So a really in-depth analysis when you look at these low-value picks. And Sadiq Bey last night at 5,600, okay, gave us 32 points. Jason Tatum was the little bit of a snowflake, only 47. I expected a lot more for an $8,900 play. But tonight, you know, I redid the colors a little bit because I'm going with a Minnesota Timberwolves theme, okay, because we're going all cat tonight. Mike, yeah, absolutely, Mike. That's why I asked, what's sure about the other sets? Yeah, they're all combined. I mean, it's funny. If you actually go on DraftKings and you look at, you get the app DK Live, which is just the scores, you'll be like, you'll see guys that have 25 DraftKings points, but they only have 6 regular points. Because a lot of people say to me, dude, he didn't score 50. He did based on a DraftKings system. And again, that's what we're playing. We're playing DFS. So this is all based on a DraftKings system. So let me put the 3 play in. I'm going to get this up for everybody. And again, I apologize. I'm a little behind today. Mike, you know, I'm all over the place. We got the Fantasy Firebox coming up tonight at about 7:15, 7:30. And then we have the first ever Flyers post game here on Heat Ratio Sports by the Flyer and Ice Pod, Mr. Dan Green and Vance Crew. That's going to be very, very exciting. We've been doing Sixers post games. Now we're going to start with some Flyers post games. So we are going to have a ton of fun tonight. So let me put in our daily 3. So we have, let's see, and let's put these in. And again, we do a 3 play every day. You know, I tell everybody these are the 3 guys, one high tier guy, one lower tier guy. You know, this is the way we do, and one mid. We do it every single day. Okay. And this is what we kind of build our lineups around. And I do this every day. Let's see. Here we go. There's your 3 play today. We have Cat, we have Kobe White, and we have Saban Lee. That is my 3 play of the day. Now, let me just give you a quick rundown. Call the hotline for the premium picks, executive picks. I like that, Mike. We might brand that when we get there because we got a hotline coming. We actually do have a call-in number coming up for Heat Ratio Sports, so you'll be able to leave messages. You'll be able to leave. It's a text line. It'll be a contest line. It'll also be a call-in line as well. And we're going to do shows where a live call-in format. People want to call in, they'll be able to call in, and we'll put you right on the air, which will definitely be fun. Trying to break barriers here, Mike. Do everything we could do. So let's get into this right now. We're going to go to 3 play. Karl-Anthony Towns, listen, one thing, for my money, coming off his best game of the year last game. And it's a coaching change out there, right? Nobody expected that coaching change, but, you know, when they made the coaching change, the first thing that was said about Karl-Anthony Towns is they want to make him more of a distributor. Chris Finch said he wanted him to be able to pass the ball a little more. And I'll tell you what, did Karl-Anthony Towns take that to heart or not? What he did, he had 11 assists. And the funny thing is, his normal line, he's a double-double machine, okay? He's a double-double machine. He's 27 and 15, 25 and 13, 30 and 14, 30 and 10. This guy's a monster. He almost had a triple-double because he had 11 assists the other night against Milwaukee. So for my money, he dropped 55 in the last 4 games. The lowest output he had is 45, but he's banking off a 62 and 55-point performance. And I think tonight against Chicago, the over and under that game is 230. I definitely think they hit the over on that game. And that's just saying that they have a lot of points projected to be scored in that game. So, I better block my number on the live calls. I like that. So I really like Karl-Anthony Towns tonight. And we've been 2 for 3 over the last 3 to 4 nights. The only one we keep missing on is the stud. And again, studs can be snowflakes. Studs don't have to be hits. They're not a given. I keep telling everybody that. It's just because a guy's 10,000 doesn't mean that he's going to get you 60 to 70 points. You have to pick out the right guy on the right night. And the other night it wasn't Zach LaVine. The other night it wasn't Joel Embiid. And last night it wasn't Jason Tatum. That's okay. We take our lumps. But again, even though it wasn't Jason Tatum, we paid more money for Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook dropped 60. So it kind of made it up for us. So that's kind of what happens from time to time. Now, as we look at tonight's slate, the next guy is Coby White. It's playing the same game. Again, I stick to the same games. And I keep telling you guys that one of the hints is when you build these lineups is to stick to guys. If you really have a good feeling about a game, try to stick to the same game with a couple plays, okay? So we have Coby White and we have Karl-Anthony Towns in the same game. I really think Coby White again for Chicago. Number one, Minnesota is the worst defense in the league. Actually, if you look at it from a fantasy perspective, the Chicago Bulls and the Minnesota Timberwolves are 3rd and 4th worst in defensive deficiency rating for DFS, which means both of these guys on both sides of the ball are going to have really good nights. Coby White has really broken out over the last 2 games. Okay, he really has. His number consistently has gone up from 6,100 to now his salary is 6,500. Last 2 games, he's played over 30 plus minutes and he's dropped 32 and 45. Now, he's 6,500. That is perfect prime for your mid-tier selection. Your mid-tier selection, you want anywhere between about 5,000 and 7,000. And you expect that guy to give you about 30 to 40 points. Now, if he gives you 45 to 50, even better. But giving you 30 to 40 is where, if the guy drops under 30, it's a bust. He's got to give you over 30 because you're paying 6,500. Okay, so I think for all intents and purposes, Coby White tonight gives you 45. I would be shocked if he didn't give you 45. I'd be shocked if he was below 40. I actually think that you're going to get over 100 between Cat and Coby. That's 2 picks to me. You're definitely going to get over 100 between those 2 guys. I am very, very sure of it. And then our 3 play ends with Saban Bay. And I have to give Dan Green all the credit last night for this one because Saban Lee, listen, I wasn't even looking at Saban Lee. DeLon Wright's out. Last night, Blake Griffin, obviously, he's not there. Derrick Rose, same thing. And the recipient of all those minutes and that production has been Saban Lee. And he is coming off 2 back-to-back 30-plus point games. And you're talking about a guy at 3,800. His value is rising, which it should. Okay, 3,000, 3,200. He went up 600. Just dropped 2 games, 30 and 35. And tonight against New Orleans. It's New Orleans, Detroit. Okay, that's another big-time scoring game. I think the over-and-under is 226 on this game. Another game that is expected to be a point score. You have Zion on one side, and you have Detroit on it with Jeremy Grant. Now you have Saban Lee, who instantly becomes the number 2 scoring option on the Detroit Pistons. So, and you could get it for under 4,000. So last night was Shake Milton, who gave us almost 20. Tonight, I want to get Saban Lee. I want him to get us a nice, cool 30 for 3,800, and I think they'll go a long way to winning your matchup. Now, a lot of interesting developments. Gordon Dragic is going to play tonight for the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero out. So Dragic could be a very intriguing play. Now, here's the thing. He has not played in several games. We don't know if he's going to be on a minute restriction. He hasn't played since February 5th. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking at there. Now, this is breaking news right here. Breaking news, which makes two guys, in my opinion, power plays tonight. Jeremy Grant ruled out for Detroit. He is ruled out. That should boost that Saban Lee number up even higher tonight. What a play Saban Lee, I think, will be tonight. That is tremendous. Tremendous. Absolutely. Sean too cool to do a guest spot. Listen, man, there's one thing I will say about Sean. You know, he is the radio producer. He is the production manager. He does it all for the Gambler. And he's a new father as well. And Mike, you and me both know having kids, it's a full-time responsibility. And Sean's always running. So I will give him that. But yes, he will absolutely be welcome on this show whenever he wants. But this is kind of this is my thing. This is Tony Jigsaw Cutillo's thing. I thought about it. I branded it. It's just something I want to do. It gives me my element for about 10 to 15 minutes every night. I get to play with everybody, tell everybody the picks, and see what happens. I really like going back and forth, obviously. So, Saban Lee, big time play tonight. 100%, man. 100%. Now, what I will say is Saddiq Bey, and he was already in my lineup at 5,600. Okay, so I had two Detroit Pistons in my lineup, and remember I told you same game. Okay, I also have Zion Williamson in my lineup. So let's start the lineup right now because I don't want to overload this. It's already 20. I want to get it out of here by quarter of. Let's get the lineup in. We lock it in. I want to get some bets in, and then we're going to do some fantasy firebox at about 7:15, 7:30, and go live. Now, point guard, Kobe White, 6,500. He's part of the three play today. Then we go Lonnie Walker, 3,700 for San Antonio against a very bad Oklahoma City Thunder team right now. Listen, they have a problem. They've had a problem scoring lately. DeJounte Murray back tonight. We have Walker. He's going to come off the bench, but he's going up against OKC. The last time he came off the bench, he was going up against the Golden State Warriors with a 20-minute restriction. But tonight, I feel as though he gives you 20 plus, maybe 25. And if he gives you 25, I think you're looking at about 20 to 25 points. And again, this is a low budget value, 3,700. If you can get 15 to 20 out of this guy for that kind of money, it's a gem. It is. It's an absolute gem as long as your guys up top can do what they need to do. So we have Kobe White, point guard. We have Lonnie Walker as shooting guard. We have Saddiq Bey as the small forward at 5,600. I mean, listen, Saddiq Bey, I can't say enough about the guy. He's been playing exceptional over the last few games. And now that, his lowest game has been 20. Okay, but 27, 25, 32. The biggest thing about Saddiq Bey that I look at is the 3-point attempts. He listen, over the past 4 games, you're talking 31 3-point attempts, shooting about 36%, a little bit under average, but that's okay. He's constantly attempting on, which is big for a DFS play. He's getting close to 10 rebounds, so he's close to double-double territory every night, which is another nice little gem too. So for 5,600, I think that's a really good game to watch, a really good number to watch. So Saddiq Bey is in the lineup. Then we go Zion Williamson at the power forward spot at 8,800. We talked about Karl-Anthony Towns and Zion Williamson, by the way, one of the most consistent fantasy DFS players in the league. He's constantly giving you 40, constantly. And this could be a 50-plus night, easily. This could be a 50-plus night. Karl-Anthony Towns, I like the number at 9,700. I'm really, really under 10,000 to get me 60 is what I'm looking at. I really, really like that number. And then we're going to end here with two guys. We're going to, listen, 4,200. I said all the Rockets were dead to me, but I'm going to go a little value here at Sterling Brown. Sterling Brown for the Houston Rockets at 4,200. He's averaging 21 over the past 4 games. The Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Cavaliers absolutely stink right now. They're bringing guys up from the G League to play. Sterling Brown's getting 25 to 30 minutes. Listen, whether Oladipo plays or not, I think Eric Gordon is questionable. So there should be some minutes there for Sterling Brown to pick up. And listen, maybe he hits 30 minutes tonight. If Sterling Brown hits up 30 minutes, you could be talking 30 points from Mr. Brown for 4,200, which would, again, take our lineup up another notch, which I'm really excited about this lineup. And then we end with DeJounte Murray. Sticking with that same game, sticking with the San Antonio, Oklahoma City game. He just dropped 55 on Charlotte. Okay, 55 on Charlotte. The game before that, he drops 35. Now he had a little pause there where he only dropped 15 against Golden State, but it was from a back-to-back. And before that, night before, he dropped 62. This is a guy who has 2 games over 55 points, DraftKings points, over the last week. That's a guy you look at. That's a guy you watch, and that's a guy you lock. So we watched DeJounte Murray rise, and now we're going to lock him in 7,400 to be our other part of the stud lineup going in tonight. So, again, we have our 3-play. We have Cat, Kobe White, Saban Lee. There's your stud. There's your mid-tier guy. There's your low-key value. Get them locked in your lineup. Build around those guys. I know you guys pick the lines apart, take certain people, and that's great. I do the same thing. Remember, we're all doing the same thing, but I will say, really keep an eye on that Detroit lineup because no Jeremy Grant tonight. That means Sadiq Bey, Saban Lee, both of those guys should have big-time games. And on the other side, Zion Williamson, big-time game tonight. So that's where I'm going. One more time, Kobe White, Lonnie Walker, Sadiq Bey, Zion Williamson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Saban Lee, Sterling Brown, DeJounte Murray. I'm locking it in right now. I'm going to go throw some parlays in. I also have the over and under. Mike Conley, 15.5 points tonight. I have the over and under. The over on Kelly Oubre at 17.5 points tonight for Golden State. I'm feeling good about that. I like those 2 plays as well. So, again, keep it locked right here. Coming up in about 25 minutes, we got the Fantasy Firebox tonight. Me, Mr. Dan Green, and Mr. John Coker makes his return. Can't wait to get John back. And we're going to be talking everything in DFS from NBA. We're going to break down third baseman in Major League Baseball for fantasy. And we're going to do a very, very early top 10 NFL quarterback fantasy list. So you don't want to miss it. And then tonight, for the first time ever, we are going to have a Flyer and Ice post-game show, courtesy of the Flyer and Ice guys. A busy night for Mr. Dan Green. He's loving it. I'm loving it. Can't wait to get Vance Crew and him on the air tonight to talk some Flyers, break it down. Make sure you tune in. As always, Heat Ratio Sports. And everybody checking on YouTube. We consistently keep getting subscribers, which is wonderful. Just remember to click that notification bell so you know when we go live every day. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll be back here in about 25 minutes.